we went from talking about, how people always think songwriters and artists are filthy rich and they're all driving Teslas and whatever. And he's like, dude, I got a van. I got to roll my children around in and la, 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 la.
Tell me about the day you wrote it,
Mm-hmm.
and then just what it's done in your life.
Oh my God, it's changed everything. The day we wrote it, I showed up at Smack to write with Kylie Morgan, and they had the date wrong. And so I just decided I was going to have a day off, and they have lovely coffee choices over there at Smack and Snacks, Smack and Snacks. And Walker came out, and I was making my coffee, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" Like, I was supposed to write with Kylie, but they got the date wrong. Oh, dude, stay. I'm like, well, okay. I was going to go home, but he's like, no, stay. I'd love for you to come in. And I'm like, well, isn't there already a couple people in there? He goes, no, come on. Yeah, I need you. Come on. And so we went in, and we actually talked about God for about 3 hours, maybe a little bit more. And I'd never met Josh Jenkins. I'd met Cambo once on a Zoom with Walker. He'd never been in a country session ever in Nashville. So talk about a hell of a day to show up and be in a country session, your first one in country music. Yeah. But we talked about what was going on in the world. We talked about how great it felt to be in the room and not on Zoom. I love me some Zoom because I've been able to write with people all around the world. And if I know you especially, and we already have a connection, we can figure it out, Yeah. But it just felt so amazing to be in that room. And Walker was just starting to really make his EP, and I had only met him. We wrote at the end of March, and I met him in November of 2020. And we had done this song with Nash called Make You Cry, and it got the label really excited, and it got his whole team excited because it was something different for him, and it was something different vocally for him. So we started writing more. And I just really started to get to know him. And I realized pretty quickly, God, we're like songwriting soulmate brothers. This is crazy. And so we went from talking about, how people always think songwriters and artists are filthy rich and they're all driving Teslas and whatever. And he's like, dude, I got a van. I got to roll my children around in and la, 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 la. We can't tour. We can't do this. And I'm really hoping something's going to work. And Josh said, well, I have this idea called Fancy. And I was like Reba or Iggy Azalea? He's like, no, like that, like Walker's song Country Stuff. Walker had just played us country stuff. And I was like, oh, things that country people think are fancy. Like, I was like, do any of y'all dip your fries in a Frosty? And then it started. And they were like, Walker started with the whole, we were talking about upgrades, like what's an upgrade to fancy people, to country people. And I was like, dude, Chili's. And he's like, oh my God, I take my kids and my wife to Applebee's. Like, that's a date night. And we love Wendy's, but God, if we get to go to a real restaurant with all these kids, it's a big deal. And he's like, we're gonna write songs for people who go to strip malls. I'm like, who the hell are you talking about? People? That's us. Like, that's who we are. We might be all over the world from time to time, but we're still country, and normal. And so it just started, and Walker was like, my girl is banging. And I was like, she's so low maintenance. Don't need no champagne popping, entertaining. And I will say that had I not written in pop as much as I had, and with some of the people that I did, and learning the language that I learned and submerging myself in that, a lot of those words would have probably been really different. And we didn't even play an instrument. We talked for 3 hours, and then it just dropped. And then when it happened, it just felt so good. It was otherworldly. Like,
you wrote it a cappella, no instruments?
A cappella, no instrument. We sang the work tape down. We didn't even have, we had written a bridge that actually Walker and Josh rewrote in the car on the phone. And that night, Walker went home and he made the demo, and it came in the middle of the night. When I woke up in the morning, I listened to it, and I was on my way. A friend of mine didn't want her husband to know her hair turns gray. And I used to be her hairdresser in the late 90s. And I remembered her color formula. and I was
Oh,
going to her house to put her root trailer on for her. And I was pulling off in Brentwood to stop at the Publix to pick up a roast chicken, no joke. And Shane McAnally texted me. He's like, "Yo, my God, what did y'all do? This is amazing." And I was like, "What is he talking?" I just heard it. He's like, "Fancy Like, this is going to be so huge. It's going to put Walker on the big stage, blah, 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 blah." And then he's like, "But hey, can you rewrite this pre-chorus melody? Like, I think it could be stronger. Or I can take a stab at it." I said, I can do it. Just give me a minute. I'm in the Publix." And I was standing in the Publix, and then just a different melody came. It was the "every now and then when I get paid, gotta spoil my baby with an upgrade. Hey, hey, hey." And I go, and I literally mean go, "Hey, hey, hey," 3 times. And you can hear the man in the checkout, like bringing up my chicken and the magazine and some gum. And I'm so happy that it was a voice text, so I'll have it forever.
yeah.
But it was a magical day, and it's changed our lives in the way that my mom, especially, the biggest thing that happens, my mom was not well, and she ended up coming to Nashville and had to take over with her health care and all that. And she was here for 4 months. And when she got here, it was real rough for like 2 weeks, and trying to find the right doctors and all this stuff, and weaning her off of a bunch of medications. And then all of a sudden, Fancy Like starts to blow up on TikTok. And I don't have TikTok, don't know what TikTok is. I'm lucky if I post something on Instagram, and I hate doing that. And it started to get really exciting. It started climbing the iTunes chart, and my mom got so excited watching those videos, and it brought her so much joy to see it that it made her forget about her pain. Not completely, but when she was focused on that, she wasn't focused on her pain. And she started calling radio stations. She's replying to people on TikTok. She's sharing it. She's doing all the things. And, it's been a huge financial blessing for all of us. It's been so amazing to watch people who did TikToks end up being in an Applebee's commercial. How cool is that? Changing their lives. It brought back the Oreo shake. It brought back Applebee's. Like, now I see them painting all the Applebee's and stuff, which is hilarious. It's been one of the most positive experience of my whole life. I mean, we got Stapleton. We didn't win the Grammy, but but we've had all these nominations. We're getting to go to award shows. We're getting to just have the most fun, and continue to write and do what we love to do. And when I go and sing it, it's so much fun to watch people respond. And the way that it blew up, the way that it did, it's, when you're the songwriter, you're not the one on stage performing. You don't get that gratification of seeing a crowd singing something back to you, or the joy on their faces, or watching them dance. And in this way, we got to watch it all happen, like all of us, the whole world. And, I got another prophetic word, which is interesting, a decade ago. And it literally was this: "Shane, you're going to write a song that brings generations of people together and hope to the dance floor." And 10 years later, this song did exactly that. So it's changed my life and a lot of other people's lives, watching every race, every creed, every type of person all around the world doing this song. Pop stars and country stars and movie stars and TV stars and grandmas and grandpas and babies, and watching babies be dead asleep, or babies who are having a full-on fit, and the mom goes, "Alexa, play Fancy Like," and it comes on, and they just start dancing. That is the greatest thing in the world to me. It has been the biggest blessing of my life thus far as music's concerned. So hopefully it allows me to keep on keeping on.
Yeah. Well, the thing, just watching it as an observer, the coolest thing about it to me is that it has brought millions and millions of people joy, like your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think when I see those videos of it all over the place, those people are forgetting the mess that's going on in the world. They're forgetting whatever mess they're dealing with, and they're just having fun. And I think that's a beautiful thing to be able to share with the world.
Yeah, it is.
So,
it's an escape. which
Yeah.
is what music is supposed to do, you know?